Okay, we've got a lot to talk about with UFOs, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, so according to the Wire Zone, multiple drone incursions confirmed over Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton. Main Corps Base Camp Pendleton in Southern California experienced multiple drone incursions over its airspace over the past several days. A facility spokesperson told the War Zone, I said the Wire Zone, the War Zone, between December 9th and 15th, there were 6 instances of unmanned aerial systems observed entering Camp Pendleton's airspace with no threat to installation operations. That's according to Captain James Sartain, a base spokesperson. Sartain could not immediately provide details about how many drones flew over the installation, their origin, what actions were taken in response, and if any air or ground operations were affected as a result. But there you go. We've had Wright-Patterson Air Force Base shut down because of drone activity, mystery drone activity. We've had at least 2 civilian airports also temporarily closed down because of mystery drone activity. But the White House is saying it's all drone hobbyists, right? Okay. All right, sure. Yeah, in fact, The Hill, according to Merrick von Rennenkamp, this is now a crisis. Brazen, mysterious drone incursions, now a major crisis. Over the last 5 years, a series of brazen incursions involving objects that exhibit seemingly highly advanced technology have left local, state, and federal authorities baffled. In short, an unknown actor appears to be sending a stark message. We can operate drone-like vehicles in American skies over critical infrastructure and hover even above sensitive military facilities with complete impunity. Yeah, and indeed they can. So who's doing this and why? Is this the Russians or the Chinese? Is this Iranians? Is this the control group, as I have begun to suspect? Or is this totally NHI? Is this the phenomenon saying, hey guys, you are not alone, and we are going to gradually wake you up to this reality? Now, if that's the case, I would expect this to become more and more anomalous over time, and for us to see more and more examples of high strangeness. And so far, I'm not seeing that. But hey, it could show up any day. Maybe people simply aren't reporting it in the same way they are drone experiences or drone sightings. So, it could be NHI. It could not be. Either way, it does seem to show exotic high technology likely derived from NHI, whether that's, UFO crash retrievals and reverse engineering or gifted technology or something like that. So yeah, I don't know what this is, but in a roundabout way, this is UFO disclosure. I think, because I don't think you can get this technology, stuff that's not even showing up, on thermals. It's not even giving off heat, and yet performing crazy maneuvers without NHI, without, reverse engineering or gifted technology of some sort, I think. Or maybe the military has just cracked some technology that is leaps and bounds beyond mainstream science. Hey, always possible, I guess, but I'm leaning toward this being UFO disclosure in a roundabout way. But Richard Dolan is laying it out for us, a timeline of these sightings.
As far as I can see, this whole current flap started about a year ago, December or so of 2023, where you have multiple sightings of these, whatever they are, drones, let's just say, reported over Langley Air Force Base in Virginia. They were described as large. They were seemingly non-commercial. That's the phrase that was used for them. You had multiple waves of these objects penetrating what is very protected airspace, flying over an installation which has F-22s and other weapon systems on the ground. There's not a lot of specifics that I am aware of in terms of like when exactly did they arrive, what precise types of maneuvers did they engage in, this type of thing. But we do know it happened. And then we also know that it was first discussed, but then things really take off as far as the news goes in the UK. I reported on this a little over a week ago. We have multiple U.S. Air Force bases in the United Kingdom experiencing drone sightings, or what they were calling drone sightings. This included RAF Lakenheath, RAF Mildenhall, RAF Feltwell, I think one other base. You had drones flying over these bases starting in November, late November of this year. This went on for several weeks.
Yeah, so it went on for several weeks, and then it kept on going for a little bit, and then it took a break. But it really goes back to 2020. This has been going on for a few years. Then 2020, here is a report from 2020 about the Colorado drones, which is when this really all seems to have begun.
FBI, FAA, and U.S. Air Force are investigating a mystery in the skies over Colorado and Nebraska, where swarms of drones have been spotted, sometimes in formation. But who's flying them? Janet Shamlian with new clues tonight.
That's not a plane.
For the last week, Michelle Eckhoff has spotted a high-flying nighttime mystery above her rural northern Colorado home. Drones, sometimes a dozen or more with wingspans 6 feet wide.
The sky is lit up with Christmas lights, basically. There's lights and things flying all over.
Sheriff's departments across the border area of 3 states have been flooded with similar reports since mid-December.
I think whomever is responsible for it will probably have a little bit of answering to do to the general public.
The military and local companies have denied responsibility.
Yeah, nobody could figure out who was doing it or why. So could that be when this technology was first tested out? And then they further got it going in Langley and then over the UK, and now this major flap over the US. Is that how it went down? I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. But this is a possible down drone. Check it out. Let's see what the details are, if there are any. Yeah, Monmouth, USA in New Jersey. First close-up video of a UFO drone that seemed to self-illuminate. What's even wilder is that it's wiggling. So this is, I guess it crashed into a tree or something? Fell into a tree? Yeah, what is up with that thing? Is that one of the mystery drones? Or is that a drone that was sent up to investigate the mystery drones? And there you go, it's kind of wiggling. I guess it's, trying to fly away and it can't because it's stuck in a tree. Either that or maybe it's just, the tree is shaking or something, or just gravity. I don't know, but this could be one of these mystery drones that we've been talking about. You can even see kind of some possible lights on it. So what happened to this thing? Was it recovered? Was it studied? Whose was it? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So if you've seen an answer on any of this, what is the fate of this drone in particular? Let me know, because I'm very, very curious, and I'm sure you guys are too. Kirsten Gillibrand is saying, I think it's an incomplete analysis, according to what the official statement is, right? The establishment narrative. I think it's an incomplete analysis. If they say we believe they're all drone enthusiasts or all commercial aircraft, I don't think that's an adequate assessment, because I'm very well aware of drone incursion over military bases, and we do not know whose they are. We do not know if they're foreign or operated or adversarial. We don't know what their purpose is. So I don't think New York, New Jersey know all the drones that were sighted. So she's not buying the establishment narrative. Drones coming from the ocean can't be intercepted. This is from the New Jersey State Senator John Bramnick. Let's see what he has to say.
I'm a little worried if a drone the size of a car can come in New Jersey from the ocean, which I have legitimate reports, and we now are bringing a detection system in. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You had an expert on who said, well, it's the typical drone activity. Well, let me tell you, the state police in New Jersey followed a drone the size of an SUV. The drone, this comes from the colonel in the state police. The drone turned off its lights and fled. Well, let me tell you, the Department of Defense needs to answer that question. Hey, I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but I can tell you this is not normal activity in New Jersey. People are worried. Have the Department of Defense do a press conference and answer all the questions. I haven't seen them take one question.
Yeah, well, if they did, they just lie their butts off. I don't know. But mixed in all of the mystery drone stuff are definite, UFO stuff. Definitely anomalous activity going on, mixed in with all the other stuff. Now, there's UFO stuff all the time, everywhere. So it's unclear if this is, because of the mystery drone phenomenon or totally separate. But here's one example. This crazy looking thing, I don't think that's a drone. I just don't. Maybe you can come up with a mundane explanation for this thing, but to me, it looks anomalous. To me, that's a pretty cool sighting of something. I don't know what it is. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but it's definitely not a drone. Yeah, and that's in Cabin Creek. Was that what does WV stand for? Wyoming? No, that's WY. What is WV? Maybe that's supposed to be WI. Meanwhile, former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf says the Biden administration's lack of drone takedowns indicates they're not sure what exactly is going on.
If they are flying over critical infrastructure, military bases, or in restricted airspace, it's one thing, again, to detect, but what are you going to do about it? And that's critically important as well. And again, they're not providing any information. They have capabilities to do something with them. So this tells me that they're not sure what exactly is going on. Otherwise, I think you would be hearing a little bit more about the nature of them, where they're coming from, who's controlling them, and really what they look like and what they're capable of. If they are flying over.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point. If they were really on this, I think they'd be on it, and they're not on it. They're just throwing smoke screens up to, placate the masses. But I don't think they know what's going on. Maybe they do, and maybe this is all towards some nefarious goal of theirs. But I don't think the mainstream government knows what's going on. Is it from 7? New Jersey, a new video, electric cars seem to be acting up. So yeah, is this another...
Oh my God.
Is this another example of these drones affecting our technology? We've heard stories about them flying over a car and the couple driving down the road and their clock changing times because of this activity. And we've seen other possible examples of the drones interfering with technology as well. So could that be another example? I'd love to know. Yeah, and that's another of the same drone caught in a tree. Just so much. Timber Chet still thinks it might be China.
I think what they're monitoring is our response, and you are correct. We are going to end up moving on off this thing, and then something's going to happen major because of these drones, because we are not paying attention to it. And I firmly believe that the Chinese are monitoring this. They have componentry in these things. They know where they are. They know what's going on. And they are watching our political reaction, our military reaction, and just our press reaction to this thing.
Yeah, so that's what Tim thinks, is it could be the Chinese, surveilling our, seeing what our responses are, and engaging our responses. But people have all sorts of different takes on this stuff. Elizabeth April did a remote viewing on this stuff, where she also came to the conclusion that it was human and that it was some effort potentially to undermine Trump. Now, hey, it could be. I mean, it did start, this current flap did start right after the election, but, it has been going on since, a year ago in Langley and, several years ago in Colorado. So, I don't know about that, but it's interesting. Remote viewings are best done as a team under double-blind conditions. And, she's an individual. It's not double-blind. So, if it's a team under double-blind conditions and they're all seeing the same thing, then that's, in my mind, pretty good evidence. But, just an individual seeing stuff isn't as conclusive as it could be. But I appreciate her efforts to remote view this. She was saying this stuff was operated out of a underground base in New Jersey, and it was old technology, she said. I mean, if it's old technology, it's pretty fancy. But, I'm sure they've been sitting on some fancy technology for a while. But they had just started to enroll it because of Trump. And let's see, we have, this is is he a mayor in New Jersey? He also has some interesting comments. This is a longer video here.
Just heard from John Kirby there over at the White House. What say you?
Well, I think it's very misleading at best. If he knows something, he should say it. To say that sightings that people in the Coast Guard, in the United States Navy, and Naval Air Station, Weapons Station Earl, which is in my district, they've seen drones at and right in close proximity to that munitions depot. People at Picatinny in like manner. Many law enforcement people have seen it. They've seen it in a way that suggests formations that are coming off the ocean into the land. And even with the Coast Guard, I spoke to one of the commanders who said one of our 47-foot rescue boats, right on its stern, were between 12 and 30 drones following close proximity to that. I mean, they had no idea who they were.
Yeah, no clue who they were. So yeah, there's a bunch of drone enthusiasts pursuing a Coast Guard lifeboat with 30 drones. Makes sense. That checks out. Totally checks out, guys. You're a conspiracy theorist if you don't think that checks out. Mysterious Planet, is pointing to the Colorado sightings. Scott Waring says drones swarm spotted this week over Hill Air Force Base in Utah. And I live near the base. We've been hearing F-35 jets all day and night for the last 3 days. They are trying to intercept the drones that are over this Air Force Base in Utah, similar to New Jersey and New York drone activity. And this is a photo, I imagine, of this event. A Fruit Heights resident says she saw around 10 drones Sunday night hovering and emitting bright light over Hill Air Force Base. It's wild, guys. Definitely a concentration over our military bases, but civilians are seeing these in their own backyard. Yeah, here's another piece about Utah.
Mark, Heidi, both Hill Air Force Base and Camp Williams here tell me that they are investigating sightings. Right now, we are right near the Salt Lake International Airport. It is a restricted area for drones, along with those bases. Today, though, I spoke with two different pilots, both who find the reports of these sightings especially concerning.
I go out into the mountains, into the canyons.
Utah drone enthusiast Scott Taylor says he loves to fly and capture the places people normally can't see.
I like this one here. This is a New Year's Eve at the Gateway.
Like many across the nation, Taylor's been watching for updates on the unidentified East Coast sightings. As a drone hobbyist, enthusiast, I'm sure you're following this closely.
I'm worried about what it's going to do to the future of drones and what they're going to, are they going to make it impossible for me to fly or for me to get other drones?
Here in Utah, Camp Williams confirmed it's investigating smaller drone sightings from the last several months, but nothing that's recent. Late this afternoon, Hill Air Force Base confirmed that unmanned aerial systems were spotted in the vicinity of the base. These sightings, they said, have not impacted operations, and all measures are being taken to protect personnel, assets, and infrastructure.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. There's over multiple bases. People are seeing wild stuff all the time. But meanwhile, there are, just normal anomalous events going on all the time that may or may not be related, including the UFOs I saw at my ayahuasca retreat. I keep on meaning to make a video about that. I've got some video of them. But I keep on getting distracted by the mystery drones. But here's a cool encounter. This experiencer is seeing this orb thing, and she's interacting with it. And when she mentions Jesus, it changes its pattern.
Let's see if we can see that.
Wait for it.
That's kind of cool.
Wait for it.
Can you talk to me? Can you hear me? Jesus loves me. Oh, you know Jesus. You know Jesus. Jesus is awesome, isn't he?
Okay. All right, guys. I mean, I've had my own Jesus experience in ayahuasca, and, it wouldn't surprise me if the orbs know him and like him. Some will dismiss that as Venus or a planet or something, and people keep on trying to convince me that the things that look like that are planets. And indeed, planets can look a lot like that. But I don't think planets react to the name of Jesus. Just saying. Just saying, guys. Meanwhile, yeah, I guess I'll leave you with this one. NASA breaking off a live stream after they spot a UFO. Here's the live stream of the space station. And then they see the anomalous object there. And what happens? Then it goes off. It goes off. Okay, they're fast forwarding and rewinding, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, this live video feed from the International Space Station has been temporarily interrupted due to either a change in inboard camera configuration or a loss of signal with the communications network. The video will return when a connection is reestablished. One example in a long line of examples of NASA cutting feeds when a UFO appears or faking stuff. I don't know how deep NASA is in all of this. If they've got UFOs of their own, like someone in the control group seem to do. If they do, what a waste, of money and resources they are pouring into these rockets. But either way, they are definitely covering up for some stuff. This is one more example of it. But let me know what you think about all this craziness means. Do you think this is NHI, behind the mystery drone phenomenon? It's certainly a massive global thing. If this is the control group, then man, they've got resources. And in my worldview, they have massive resources and could do something like this. But this is a lot. This is a lot. This is straining what even I thought they were probably capable of. But again, I'm not seeing a lot of high strangeness with these drones. There's anomalous activity like there always is, like the orb that interacted with or responded to the name of Jesus, and that one crazy thing that was going in loops. But, I'm not seeing anything directly related to the drones that's high strangeness. So I'm leaning toward this being human, but I'm still on the fence. I'm just slightly leaning toward this being human, of a human cause, but with some exotic technology. But let me know what your temperature is and where you guys are at with all of this. In the comments and below, like and subscribe, smash bell, merch store, channel member. There's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.